3, 2, 1, action! Hello everyone, this is James at the Marshall Archive. As usual, apologies that I haven't posted a video for a long time. I've been kind of busy. As some of you may already know, I got a job working in a school here in Thailand some months ago, and I've been working. Unfortunately, the school is in the middle of nowhere. There's like 3 7-Elevens and a gas station and a McDonald's, and that's it. To go anywhere is rather awkward because the public transport here sucks. Luckily they do have a room at the school where I can stay whilst I'm working here. If they didn't, I wouldn't be working here. So I'm staying at the school during the week. I do get away at the weekends, but I'm also busy doing other things then. So I'm busy, and I don't have much time to do all the film stuff anymore, which is sad. I miss doing it. I would like to do more videos, although I don't get very many viewers. Those of you who do watch are complimentary, and thank you to all of you for saying nice things. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do so, it helps me out. And if any of you are movie fans out there and you're interested in building up your collections, I've got a lot of stuff for sale on my website, www.worldmovieposters.co.uk. Please have a look and see if there's anything you're interested in. Whilst I am working at the school, it's become very awkward and difficult to get to a post office whilst it's open, but I do have some intel on one that stays open later than the local one. So I need to get out there and see if it does actually stay open later. If it does, I'll get out to that one and start using it. So, whilst I'm here at the school, there's not much in the way of film stuff. I have been trying to copy my VCDs of Thai films to the computer hard disk so that I can find things. Because when you got over 1,000 VCDs and none of them have English titles, well, I can't remember them all. And I can't find things when I want them sometimes. Everything's in boxes in a big pile, and I have to search through to try and find what I need when I need it, and I often don't because it's too much hassle. So I'm trying to copy everything to the computer hard disk, and I bought an external hard disk especially for the job. Unfortunately, I've had to change the DVD drive in the computer twice because it completely failed. And the one that's in there right now, I can watch discs, but it won't let me copy them, and I don't know why. It's driving me mental. So that plan is put on hold right now. Meanwhile, I brought a big pile of Japanese shirashi here to try and sort out. I'll try and make a video on that later to upload soon. For now, I'm just going to show you some of the film posters I got recently. Since the start of the year, I've had about 250 posters come in, and there's also some lobby cards, not many lobbies. Unfortunately, I forgot to take photos of all the stuff I got locally. I did take photos of some Italian photo busters that I'll show you in a minute along with all the posters. So I'm going to put my head up in the corner here, and I'm going to be a talking head talking about these posters for the next hour. And there's all kinds of different stuff in there. A lot of it is Thai stuff that I got, some of it is American stuff, some of it is Japanese stuff. So please do have a flick through and see if anything's of interest. A lot of this stuff I'm keeping. Some of it is spare for sale or trade. As ever, I bought a number of job lots to get some bits that I was interested in. I always think, well, would I pay that amount of money for the 3 posters there that I actually want? And if the answer is yes, I get the job lot, and then I keep the extra and I try and sell it on. So that's where most of the stuff on my website comes from. Sadly, I haven't updated the website in a year. There is other stuff piling up that needs to be put on it, and as and when I have no work and I have a lot of free time, I'll get back to that. Meanwhile, things just have to stay in limbo as they are. The website is on a computer hard disk, which is currently misplaced. Actually, I had two computers that died, and both hard disks have data on that I need to try and get off. So I bought this thing, which will let me do that, and I got that over the weekend. I can't find the hard disks. I thought maybe I brought them here to the school with all my external hard disks. I looked in the externals box, they're not in there. So they must be in my other apartment somewhere. As and when I can get the website off of that and onto this computer, I'll look at trying to get something done there. Anyway, let's get on with the posters. If you're still with me, thank you for staying. So, talking head, this way cometh, and go. Well, I spent more than an hour talking about these posters, and I'm sorry for the poor sound in this room. It's very echoey because it's big and empty. But for some reason, the sound was out of sync with the picture, but worse than that, the sound was repeated, so you had the soundtrack twice, and it was very strange. So I had to scrap the whole thing and start again. So please excuse me if this seems a bit of a rush. I'm going through them quicker this time, because I want to get through this and get it done. It's currently 10 p.m. here. Like I said, I don't have much time these days. I'm trying to squeeze something in where I can. So, often in Thailand, people will take old posters that they've been unable to sell, and they'll wrap them around the posters they have sold before they put them in the plastic tube to send them. This is what happened with the first three posters here. Sometimes they cut part of the poster off, as they have done here. Seems like the top is missing. Also has tape damage. But I don't know this film, and I've never seen the poster for sale anywhere. So this appears to be a Korean film. There's a CJ logo, and it's called Cracked. I know nothing about it. I'll try and find out more. I'll try and get a proper poster at some later date. This is a Thai film. I'm not up to date with all the new stuff that's come out, because none of it's really that interesting or worth bothering to know about. But I still keep collecting the posters anyway. So someone's cut off the name of this film. I don't know what it is. I'll try and find out later and get a better poster. This one they cut off the top, and they've made lots of cuts to make little folds, flaps that they put into the ends of the posters. This is Bang Phai something. It seems to be something to do with the rockets they fire for some festival in Laos. There's another film about it a few years ago. I've forgotten the name right now. This film, I don't know if it's a Thai film or not, but it was part of a job lot, and I kind of like it. If it is a Thai film, I definitely keep it. If it's not, I don't know. I'll try and find the film and see what it's like. If it's Thai, I must keep it just because it's Thai. If it's a Hollywood film and I don't like the film, it can go. I have some strange principles. Okay, this is definitely a Thai film called Tell the World I Love You, from the director of Bangkok Love Story, which was a gay film, and it looks like this is also a gay film. Director's got some kind of gay agenda. He's probably gay himself, I'm guessing. Probably quite boring. Bangkok Love Story was very boring. Now, the next few posters all came from the same seller, and this one is the main reason that I bought from him. The others are mostly in very poor condition. Not to say this one's in good condition, there's quite a lot of damage around the edge. But when the Celestial Shaw Brothers films were released in Thailand, there were a number of these different posters produced to advertise them in the shops. And I've got, I think, 9 other ones. So this one was missing, and with this one I've got a set of 10, which may or may not be a full set. I'm not aware of any others, but there may be others I haven't seen yet. I don't know. So I got it for this one. Also from the same seller, Cursed. Seems to be Japanese, something about birds and schoolgirl, I don't know. Tokyo Psycho, which I thought came out a few years ago. Maybe it's an old poster. I don't know. It might be related to MPD Psycho, might be totally unrelated. I don't know, I haven't seen that either. This is from a Thai film called Fa. It was directed by Wich Kausanananda, who later went to Hollywood and directed one film there, Ballistic X vs. Sever, with Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu. Most people say it's a bad film. I rather like it. So he's also known as Chaos. He came back to Thailand. He's directed a number of other films here. Some of them low-budget Hollywoods that came to Thailand. None of them particularly good, frankly. This is probably his best film. Sadly, never released outside of Thailand, as far as I can tell. Never released with English subtitles. It was made by a TV company, Bectero, and was shot using TV cameras, so it doesn't look like a feature film, but it is, kind of, and it's actually quite a good film, starring Chachai Plengpanit, who used to be very popular here. He's done a lot of TV stuff. He seems to have disappeared of late. Now, this may actually be a poster for the CD soundtrack, which I also have. I'm not sure. As you can see, sadly, it's got hole that's been taped up. It's in very poor condition, but I've never seen this poster anywhere else, and it cost me about $1. This is for a low-budget straight-to-VCD film called Krungtep 555. The Thai word for the number 5 is ha. So often people will put ha 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 to make the sound of somebody laughing to indicate it's a comedy. So this is Teb Pong Nam. Looks like he's made nunchucks out of tying his shoelaces together. I don't know. This is Krung Shi Willai. He was a very big actor in the late 70s through the 80s and early 90s. He made like 300 films, I think. He's still about, but he doesn't seem to do much these days. Looks awful, but gotta have everything, and it was cheap. 7 Days in Coffin is also a straight-to-VCD film, made about 20 years ago, roughly. I don't know off the top of my head. It's one of the better ones. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I got the DVD. House of Haunted, on the other hand, is pretty terrible, but I don't have the poster yet, so I got it. 18 Springs, Chinese film with Leon Lai. I watched on the airplane when I first came to Thailand in 2007. Terrible film, incredibly boring, I hate it, but got to get the poster. Sadly very damaged again. This is some Chinese TV show. I don't know what it is. There's no English title on there. This face looks familiar. Looks like Choi Man-chok or Vincent Zhao, depending on how you call him, Mandarin or Cantonese name. Looks like him, I'm not entirely sure. I'll try and find out what it is someday, if possible. Meanwhile, don't know what it is. Also don't know what this is. It's a soundtrack poster for a Vicky Zhao TV show. Looks kind of boring. When did you get? I don't know. Just some random stuff this same guy had. I threw them all in with the Magnificent Night poster. Same guy. Street Angel, don't know. Lucky Stars Go Places, awful poster, quite a good film. This is also a Thai film. I've never heard of before. I've never seen it for sale anywhere. But it's Thai actors' names. And I was quite surprised by this name. Nanta Rittikrai. Now I'm assuming it's a stage name. I'm assuming they use Rittikrai as in Pana Rittikrai to indicate they're an action actor and this is an action film. I don't think they're related to Pana because that's not even his real name. Pana Rittikrai's real name is Kitsanalad Pana. So I think they just use the name to indicate they're an action star. So I know nothing about this film and I hope to find it someday. It's an interesting looking oddity. I think it's straight to video. I've never seen a cinema poster or any information on it anywhere. Don't know. This was actually a cinema release. Sadly, poster's got some really major damage to it. Lots of big holes. But I've never seen the poster for sale anywhere else, and again it was quite cheap. This is actually a Pana film called Hode, which was released under a number of different names. I don't think I've got this poster before, sadly rather damaged again, but it was quite cheap, and sometimes you just have to say, is it better to not have it at all or to have it damaged? I prefer to have it in this condition than to not have it at all. So I'll try and upgrade if I ever find a better one, but who knows. My Brother, Chinese film, I'll have to find out more, I don't know. This is another Thai film, Pleng Rak Ban Sanyarak. Something about music, love, I don't know, one of those boring 90s films. This is seemingly from a Taiwanese poster. Often they take the original poster and they just leave all the credits and stuff. Now this is a Taiwan poster for probably a Taiwan film, I'm guessing. I don't actually know. I'm going to try and ID it at some point. Kufeng, seems to be a Kufeng film. That'll help narrow it down at some point. I'll try and find out. Okay, Hollywood, Bullet Train. I still haven't seen the film. It looks so-so, but I should see it. This is a smaller design, the 20 by 30 inch. I also have the 27 by 40, which is a different design. You'll see that in a minute. 13 Cold-Blooded Eagles, Hong Kong poster. Not my favourite film, but I do like Cynthia, so I picked that up whilst it was there. Now, Godzilla against Mothra, I'm thinking is not an original Japanese poster from the time of the film's release. I say this because if it was, it should probably have the IRIN number in a rectangle somewhere on the poster, and there is no IRIN number on here, so I think it could be some kind of reprint. This one, on the other hand, does have the IRIN number. Well, it's come out a bit fuzzy because I didn't take a very good photo. My camera is better than that. I should try again if I have a chance. These pictures are just for reference though, so I can see what I've got. So I do know the first two numbers are the year the film was made, and this says 1970, and we can see that it's a Dai film, so it should be quite easy to find an ID on that at some point. I need time. I don't have much time right now. Now back to some Thai stuff. This is Jaipur Torahot, starring Sarpong Chatri, who died last year, sadly. Now, I got a lot of Pana stuff. I already have all of these posters, but some of them are a bit damaged, and these are in better condition. So I got them in the hope of replacing my damaged ones with the better ones. This is Talui, Challenge to Fight. This is Ipet Borkorsor Pak Song. Ipet, you put I before a man's name or E before a girl's name to be informal, so it's like Mr. Pet. And Borkorsor is the bus company. So it's Mr. Pet of the Bus Company, Part 2. This is Pechikat Lek, which is like Iron Executioner, something like that. Not a great film. But Pana and Bin Balalit, and that's Bin. This is Samar Payak Arun, who was a Muay Thai boxer who went on to make a lot of films. Well, a few films. I wouldn't say a lot, but like 10 or so. This is Songkram Pi, which means Ghost War. This was actually released on DVD in America in the Spirited Killer 3-film DVD set. All of the names of those films were made up, Spirited Killer 1 is actually Blukma Kunmaka Part 4. Spirited Killer 2 is actually Blukma Kunma Fat Pigat. And Songkran was Spirited Killer 3. It's a nice print, it's widescreen, it's subtitled, it's the best the film has ever or will ever look. And it's not a great film, the other two are better. Part 2 was the best of those films. It was good to have a decent print of some of the Pana films. Thank you George Tan for releasing those. Alright, this is Mangor Nyawarat, Dragon of Chinatown. Pechikat Den Songkram. It's hard to translate. Pechikat is executioner, Den is like leftover, and Songkram is war. So it's like mercenaries who used to fight in the war, something like that. Mission Hunter. This was actually released by Filmark under the name Dark Day Express. We have Panaritikra. Anurak was in many of Pana's early films, died quite a long time ago sadly. Pana, dead sadly. And the German, Christoph Kloppel, who made I think 3 films in Thailand. This looks like Shurian Shoryong, but her name's not on there, so I don't think it's her. No, I don't know who that is. Okay, moving on. Employ for Die, Rabjangkai. Many of you watching will probably recognize this as being Cannibal Mercenary, also known in Germany as Jaguar Project. I have this poster already, and I got this because it's quite a popular film and it's probably sellable. And it came as part of the job lot, so it's there if anyone's interested. This is Muprab Hunhod, which was released on DVD in America under the weird name Hard Gun. This was the last of Pana's films before the 3-4 year gap where he made Ong Bak. So quite a good film. Not his best, but some good stuff in it. And the lead actor here, Somjai Jamontri, who's really good, I like him. They call him Tony Jai as a joke. Tony Jai, Hollywood superstar. He's been in a number of Hollywood films as an extra stuntman, but he's never had an acting part in a Hollywood film. But he is very good. He's made some great films in Thailand, all with Pana. And he's actually married to Pana's niece, Tanyalak Ratchata, who was the young girl in Born to Fight, 1986. Pana's always kept it in the family, and this is family, this is family, this is family. Most of his family are the people in his films, which is kind of cool. I've always liked that about him. And this is UT2, which is not a good film, but so-so poster. Sadly a bit wavy, water ripples. I've already got it, this is a spare if anyone's interested. Now, right, the next 3 were part of a job lot. I had to buy all 3. The first 2 I already have, but the ones that I already have are a bit damaged, they got some rips. So these are better condition, and the price was low enough that I was happy to pay it for the one that I wanted. So this is Pangadak, English title The Scheme. Panaritikrai, lots of big guns. This is End of the World, which isn't as good, but it's got a few fun moments. Quite a weird film. They're both made by Santisucha Studio. This is the one that I actually bought them for. This is called Palok Songpandin. Songpandin is 2 countries, Lok is world, Pa is like break. It's like break the world 2 countries. It's a weird name. I do think I actually have this film on video and on VCD twice under different names. There is some confusion, I'm not entirely sure, but this does have Chachai Plengpanit, who we see here, and it does have Sarpong Chatri, who we see here. So I think it's that film, but I'm not entirely sure. I also have the lobby cards. So between all of that, I've got to check and figure it out sometime. It also has Suriwan Shuriyong, who sadly died last year of cancer after a long illness. So a very nice poster, some damage, a lot of brown spots around the outside, but the artwork is mostly damage free, a little bit of intrusion from the spots, but nice poster, glad to have it. Next, Pinak Sam. So you may have heard of the film Nang Nak, which is a ghost story about a girl called Mae Nak Prakanong who gets pregnant, and then her husband goes to war. Then when he comes back from war, he comes home to his wife and child, except Mae Nak is a ghost. Not a good film, not a good story. I never understood why that film was so successful. I didn't like it at all. But since then we've had a number of other films with Nak in the name. So this may be related to Mae Nak, it may not, I don't know. I haven't seen any of this series of films. I have the posters for part 1, 2 and 3, but I haven't watched any of them. There seems to be ghosty stuff. Fast and Feel Love. Looks like a weird comedy. I know nothing about. Irian Singhu. I don't know. Some Isan film about women and buffaloes. Looks boring. Difficulty reading that one right now. A Con Lor Luang. I don't know. Looks like some silly rom-com. Luang Pi Ga I Bo. So Luang is monk, Pi is ghost, E is woman, Pob is ogre. So it's like the ghost priest versus the lady ogre, something like that. This is, I've suddenly forgotten his name. Sadly, this guy died of COVID a couple of years ago. Kom Chuan Chuan. I like Kom. He was a good actor. He was good at comedy. He was always funny. He was always over the top, hamming it up. I enjoyed him. So sad about that. This may well be his last film. I'm not sure. Game Changer. I like the poster. Nice and colourful. Know nothing about the film. I am not up to date with the last few years of Thai films because they've been generally pretty bad. I haven't gone to the cinema to watch any. Now they're not even coming out on DVD, or the DVD shops are closed. So you've got to go online to see stuff, and I'm not paying to see films that I don't really care about that much, frankly. I like the old Thai stuff, I don't like the new stuff that much. If I can find them on DVD, I'll buy them, but until that happens, which it might never at the moment, the way things are going. Anyway, this film is called Ayutthaya Mahalalue. It looks like it could be another version of Yamada, the Warrior of Ayutthaya, which was not a particularly good film, and this does not look particularly good either. This, I forgot the name of. It's based on a TV show that was very, very popular. Something about a guy who travels back in time and falls in love with the woman in the painting or something. I've got another poster for this as well. Fast and Feel Love again. Another strange horror film from 5 Stars. They seem to keep churning them out. Looks vaguely interesting. Hun Payan. Something like that, I don't know. Right, now comes some more interesting stuff. We got a few posters from the late 60s, early 70s, I'm not entirely sure. The standard cinema poster size for Thailand for many years was 20 by 30 inches. In recent years, like the last 20 years or so, they've also had lightbox posters that were 27 by 40, the same as US 1 sheets. Now going back to the 60s, they had a number of posters that were half what became the standard size. So side by side with the 20 by 30 inch, you have a number of 10 by 15 inch posters. And now we have 8 10 by 15 inch posters for Chinese films. They also did for a number of Japanese films. A lot of the Nikatsu spy stuff came out with posters that size, as well as the Akira Kurosawa films. I got Sanshiro Sugata, Redbeard, those are 10 by 15 posters. So first up we got The Windfall. This looks like Hon Ying Kit or Han Ying Chia, who was in Big Boss with Bruce Lee. I think it's him. I need to do some proper research and check up on that. We got My Love for You, The Deceiver, looks like a mad comedy. Stardust, which I have the lobby set for, it's some kind of musical. This one I'm not sure what it is. Sadly, the offset printing is off. It's a bit double exposed. Maybe it's 3D. Actually, when you look at posters, the printing's a bit off like this. They do look 3D if you've got 3D glasses. Try it. Anyway, if I ever see another one, I'll upgrade if it's better printed. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it could be Ghost, Man, Fox, Ghost, something like that, I think it's called. Nang Pi Ronsawat. Nang Pi is like Mr. Ghost. Ronsawat is like Hot Passion. I don't know. Find out one day. Thankfully there's a Chinese title on there, so I can make efforts to ID it properly. Her Puzzle, I've never heard of either. Although this face does look familiar, like Feng Bobo or Feng So Po, maybe? I'm not sure, I need to check. Yeah, their name's not on there though. I don't know, I'll figure it out later. This one looks interesting. Buddha with 1,000 Arms. Looks like an action film. Would like to see that very much. What's this one called? A Debt of Blood. Looks like the evil Japanese army resistance type film. Could be good. Right, so then the same guy, I actually saw he was selling this one poster he had for sale on the internet, Butterfly Murders, and as I often do, I asked him if he had anything else for sale. So he showed me the 8 small ones I just showed you, and the price was good. Yep, I'll buy all of those. And he had a few others I was interested in. Sadly, Butterfly Murders is a bit damaged. I used to have it and then I sold it and I thought I'll get it again, but then the seller I got it from, who used to have more, had sold out. Sadly that happens sometimes. So I'm stuck with the damaged one for now, and if I ever see a better one, I'll pick it up, but it doesn't come up very often. I've seen it for sale maybe 3 or 4 times in 15 years. Now this one I've been after for so long. Sadly very damaged, but sometimes you just have to take what you can get. Cost me about £10. I didn't really want to pay that much for the state it's in, and if I ever see a better one I have to pick it up. But this is one of my favourite films of all time. The Loot, aka Blood Money, starring Philip Ko, sadly not with us anymore, David Chang, Choi Sil-kung, Lily Lee, and Wang Yin-sik. I'm sure many of you have seen this already. Surprisingly directed by Eric Chang. It was actually quite a decent director back then. He made a few good ones, including The Challenger, and I think Legend of the Owl might be his doing. And he was quite good at the action comedies back then. This is one of my favourite films. The ending in the secret cave is just superb. I love this film so much, and I do want a better quality poster. I hope they find one someday. Okay, Funny Kung Fu, again, very damaged. Very damaged. But again, for reference purposes, if I never find a better one, at least I've got something to show. Again, a bit damaged. I think this is one of the IFD releases. I think it's Equal Against Devils. Chinese title there, I'll check up on that later. This one I've completely forgotten the name of. I did find out. I asked Toby and he did tell me. Can't remember now. I did find it online and I tried to watch it, but I fell asleep. It wasn't that good of a film. Right, so now different seller. This is The Assassin 1976. Unfortunately, rather damaged. At this time, most of the good stuff in Thailand has already been sold. And due to inflation and greed, prices keep going up and up and up. Meanwhile, quality is going down and down. So I paid more for this than I really wanted to, and if I'd realised quite how badly damaged it was, I might not have bothered. But what can you do? There's not that much around at the moment, so you've got to get what you can and put up with the crap. Often things are way overpriced and I say, no, I'm not paying that much for that steak, I'll wait till I find a better one. But you might never find a better one. It's a quandary I face on a regular basis. Alright, this is Encounters of the Spooky Kind, Sammo Hung, one of the best films ever made. There were at least 2 different posters for this, maybe 3. Maybe I'm thinking of The Dead and the Deadly for one of them. Anyway, there's at least 2, and this seems to be the harder one to find. I've only ever seen it twice. And I picked it up as a spare in the hope of selling it. It's not going to be cheap because it's hard to get. As is this, The Victim. Possibly one of the best films of all time. I don't like some of the comedy, but the action in it is superb. One of Sammo's best. Lung Kar-Yang's best, I think, by far. And quite a nice poster. So I got this spare if anyone's interested, but it's not going cheap. This is another one that was used as packaging. This is a Thai film. I'm not actually sure what the name is. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Something like that. I don't know. Just keep it till I find a better copy of the poster sometime. Oh. Pum Huang Duangjan's in it. She was a very famous singer. So it's another film about her. I think there's 3 films about her, maybe 4. Yeah, interesting, I need to check up on that. Now we come to, this is not new. These are some of the first posters I ever bought. And they've been rolled up, wrapped in cellophane. And they've been in a big bag and they keep getting moved about. And from time to time they get a bit squished and I try and unsquish them. And I thought it's about time I try and flatten them out and put them in with the rest of the posters in the big pile. Unfortunately, they've sustained quite a bit of damage over the years. Back when I first started collecting, I was not as clued in as I am these days, obviously. And because of the size of the UK quads, they're a bit bigger than US 1 sheets. And they're kind of hard to cope with because they're too big for everything. In Thailand I can get big plastic bags now that I can put the 1 sheets in, but I try and put quads in and the quads will buckle because they're slightly too big to fit in the bag. It's very annoying. So quads are troublesome. Anyway, here we got Replacement Killers, which has suffered some mould over the 25 years it's been sitting in my collection. And it wasn't the greatest film, but I did quite enjoy it. I like Mira Sorvino in it as well. It's not one of Chow Yun-fat's best films, but it's still better than most American action films of the last 25 years. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Then we got Days of Being Wild. This is a German repro. I probably got from Athena or some shop like that. Corruptor, this appears to be a US 1 sheet and it's got really squished and quite damaged over the years. It's a lot of mould as well. I do believe I've got another copy of this more recently, which is in better condition, hopefully. Fist of Fury, this is a repro that I got from a shop like Athena 25 years ago. Maybe it was Athena, I'm not sure. Unfortunately got rather squished over the years. This is one of the first posters I ever bought. It cost me £6 back then. Sadly, even to get the repro now is quite difficult. I could do with another one that's not damaged. I wish I could get it again. Such is life. This I actually picked up in Indonesia a few years ago. I got 3 posters there. I went there to work on a film called Garuda 7 that never got made and I never got paid for, and it almost ruined my entire life. It really started a chain of events that led from one catastrophe to another, and it was not good, and I wish I never bothered. Going to Indonesia itself was not that bad, but losing the money that I did was very difficult at the time. I was in dire straits for quite some time after that, and it took me a long time to recover. So anyway, let's move on. Star Wars Concert. This is a repro, of course, not an original. Again, from Athena, I think. This is a UK quad for Face Off. Again, not John Woo's best work, but I think the best of his American output, and one of the better American action films of the last 25 years, actually. I still like the film quite a lot. I thought it's John Travolta and Nicolas Cage's best films. Maybe The Rock was better. Yeah, I don't know, they're both pretty good. Anyway, I still like Face Off. If you don't, that's up to you. I think it's good. Lethal Weapon 4, Jet Li, of course. I bought a load of stuff from that film when it came out. These came from a shop in Bristol, where I'm from, called Global Collectibles, run by a man called Steve Chamberlain. I don't know if he's still around. I haven't been back to England for a number of years, but it was a good shop. They got a few bits in from time to time. Didn't get much with any Asian connection. At this time there was just the Hollywood films with the Hong Kong talent working on them. So I picked up a few posters and lobby sets from him of that stuff back then. They were a bit expensive. I paid £20 for the US lobby set from Lethal Weapon 4, for example. £20 then was a lot more than it is now. 25 years ago. 23 years. I don't know exactly when it came out, I can't remember. So there's those. Then we've got Shanghai Noon, which sadly got squished and got stuck to itself. I couldn't unstick it. So that's sadly rather damaged, and I hope to find another one at some point that's not. I have a real soft spot for this film. I didn't like the sequel very much, but Shanghai Noon I thought was good. I liked it a lot more than Once Upon a Time in China and America, which kind of stole Jackie's idea of the Chinese Western. I like it. It's still funny. I want to watch it again. It's been a long time. Tomorrow Never Dies, UK quad. This is the one where they misspelt the word tomorrow at the bottom with 2 M's. So they recalled this poster and reissued it with the spelling corrected. So I don't know how many of these actually got out. Sadly it's a bit damaged. Again, got squished. Corner bent. I don't know if it's worth any more than the one with the correct spelling on. I've got no idea. I just got it because Michelle's on it. And I've been in love with her for years. And I still am, really. I think she's great. I don't think she's done much in the way of good films in the last 20 years, sadly. This was probably the last thing she did that was good at all. I haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet, and that did win an Oscar, so it's supposed to be good. Actually, it won a few Oscars. So I need to watch that one at some point. But meanwhile, her stuff in between hasn't been that good. The Touch has a few moments, but it wasn't that good. Silverhawk, a few moments, but it's not that good. And then she didn't do anything for a long time that I can remember. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. The Big Hit, US 1 sheet. Again, it's been a bit squished and damaged. It was in with the rolled up stuff. This is one of the first DVDs I ever bought. So when DVD players first came out, around 1997-98, I got my first one. Very expensive back then. Got it from a shop in Bristol called Laser Vision, run by a man called Jason Skews. And the first two DVDs I ever bought, now I got more than 2,000, the first two I ever bought were The Killer, Criterion Collection, and The Big Hit. Mark Wahlberg's best film. You can disagree with me if you want. I know there's a lot of hate for this film. I still think it's great. Makes me laugh every time. Mark Wahlberg was great, Joaquin Woodbine was great, Lou Diamond Phillips was great, Avery Brooks. Give the band a gold star. So good in that film. It's the best thing Avery ever did. Antonio Sabato Jr. didn't do very much. They cut a lot of his subplot, sadly. But I think the film's better for it being cut. And I still think it's a great film. Directed by Kirk Wong, who's a great director. If you don't like it, that's up to you. I love it. Alright, next. This is some kind of repro of the US poster for On Back. I think I got this around 2011 when I went back to visit England last time. Unfortunately, it's been a little bit squished. There's some of those white marks running through it, which is never good. I would like to get an unsquished one at some point. Tomorrow Never Dies, US 1 sheet. This was in with the rest of them, but it didn't get as badly messed up. And there are some white marks on it. Sadly, it did get squashed at some point. I wish they never got squashed. Some of these are quite good. First Strike, Jackie Chan. This is, I believe, a reproduction. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember where I got it from. Yeah, Zigzag Posters, Germany. It's some kind of repro. But it's a good poster. This is probably one of Jackie Chan's last almost good films. First Strike, Rumble in the Bronx. They had a lot of good stuff in them, but they weren't his best. Always wanted to get this hat. I tried so hard to find that seal hat. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I managed to find some animal hats in Thailand, like an elephant, a giraffe, a monkey. Never managed to find the seal. If anyone's ever seen one for sale somewhere, please let me know. I love that hat. I've been wanting one ever since I saw the film. Seriously, crazy as it sounds. Alright, Rise of the Legend I also picked up in Indonesia. Samo. I need to watch at some point. I got the Thai DVD, but I've never watched it. This one also came from Indonesia, Dragon Blade. I'm in two minds about that film. Some of it I liked, some of it I didn't like so much. It was kind of a weird one. I need to see it again. I haven't seen it since it came out. And of course there's got to be a Bruce Lee poster in there somewhere. I think someone donated that to me about 20 years ago, along with some Kickboxer French lobby cards and the Crime Freeman UK quad. Can't remember who you were. I think it was Mark somebody, maybe. Thank you, anyway, if you ever see this. I was happy to get that stuff from you. It's nice. Alright, now comes some Thai posters. This is a Japanese film. I don't know what it is. I haven't tried to ID it yet. Panpokopina, that could be the name of the film. I've got no idea. Popran. Oh no, I've got to go to the website and see what that says. XXX-holic. Looks like some kind of cosplay film. I don't know. Looks alright. Blue Thermal. Seems to be an anime about gliders. Looks kind of boring. Looks like good animation, but looks like quite a boring film. The Way of the House Husband, with a Japanese look-alike for Jeff Goldblum. I'm sure it's not him. It does look rather like him though. I've got 2 of that if anyone's interested in one. Tokyo Revengers, looks kind of good. I was trying to read the IRIN number on there, but because of the background it's very hard to see. Looks like 21081A, I'm not sure. Anyway, I do have a Japanese Shirashi for that, it might be clearer on there, I don't know. Ju-On 4, The Final Curse. I've only ever seen the first Japanese one and the American remake. Didn't like either of them very much. I didn't even know there was a part 4 or a part 3. I didn't know there was a part 2, but I never saw that. Don't think I saw it. Alright, It's a Flickering Life. I know nothing about, looks kind of boring. Now some Korean stuff. The Roundup. I know nothing about. I've got 2 of that if anyone's interested. There's a little bit of damage around the edge. It's not too bad. Emergency Declaration. I know nothing about. Confidential Assignment 2. I didn't like Confidential Assignment 1. I got it on Thai Blu-ray. I thought it was quite boring. I'm hoping 2 is better. And Project Wolf Hunting. I don't like the poster very much, but I hear it's a very good film. I look forward to seeing it at some point. John Wick 4, of course. I must have it. I have actually seen 3 posters from it for sale. Someone had the US poster where his tie is like an egg timer, and there was an IMAX poster for it. Sadly, they were too expensive and I didn't get them. I've only seen them once. I'm hoping they'll turn up at a better price at some point. Thai poster, okay. I saw a second Thai poster, but it was on a TV screen at one of the cinemas with Lawrence Fishburne. So I don't know if they made an actual physical copy of that poster or not. I've never seen a real one, only on the TV screen. So it's hard to know sometimes. You don't know if it's real till you actually see the real one there. It's a bit annoying. Here's the other Bullet Train poster. This is a 27 by 40 inch. I think the other one looked better, personally, but I still quite like this. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I got 2 of those if anyone's interested in one. Not as good as the first one, but still a lot of fun. Good cast. Less said about that the better. I got 2 if anyone's interested in one. Only got them both because they were in a job lot. Well, 2 job lots from the same guy. Terrible film. Black Adam. I like the poster. I'm not that keen on the film, but I do like this poster, so I picked it up. Same with Venom. I wasn't that keen on the film, but I love this poster. I think the contrast between the red and the black, it's a thing of beauty. I love this poster. Analyze That. I do pick up Hollywood stuff sometimes. I love Billy Crystal. He is awesomely funny. I will buy anything from any film that man is in. Analyze This was better, but Analyze That was quite good. The first one was much better though, much funnier. And Godzilla vs. Kong. I have at least 3 different posters for this already, maybe 4, I'm not sure. And then I saw a guy selling this on the internet and I wanted it because it's beautiful. It's different to the others. I don't like the film very much, but I like this poster lots. It's very good. Alright, now we come to some other stuff. I got a job lot of Italian photo busters just to get this set of 10. I took 2 photos of the first 2 because the sun was shining and you can see like a white stripe through the middle. So I tried to get rid of that with a different angle and it still didn't really work. As ever, these photos are just for reference so I can see what I've got. If I ever need them for pictures in a magazine or a book or something, I'll try and photo them again under better conditions, more professionally. But this was just a rush job. I didn't have that much time and I tried to get it all done whilst I could. I still forgot to do a pile of lobbies that I got from Thai sellers, but anyway, so here we go. So Guerra Spatiale is the Japanese film Space War. I think that's what it was called. And I bought the job lot just to get this set of 10. Alright, then I got a job lot of Japanese posters because there's a few good ones in there I wanted. We have Mother, The Protector. I've been after this one for a very long time. I got the Shirashi, I believe, already, but not the full-size poster until now. Rumble in the Bronx, been after for a long time. I have the Japanese press book, souvenir program, whatever you want to call it, but never gotten an actual poster until now. We got 2 different Japanese posters from Legacy of Rage. Sadly some damage, but as ever, is it better to have it damaged or to not have it at all? So I got them in the hope that I'll find better one day, but if I don't, at least I have these for reference. I can Photoshop the damage. This I know very little about. It appears to be a Japanese film. She looks Japanese. That was filmed in Russia, and down here it says 1974. And over here is the Toho logo. So Toho 74 Russia. I've got to try and figure out what it is. I just don't know at the moment. Waterworld. I know there's a lot of hate for this film, the biggest flop of all time. I like it. I thought it was quite a good film. I love Dennis Hopper in that film. So I got 2 Japanese posters for that. So when I get a job lot, there's some must-haves, and sometimes there's some, I like that film, I'm going to keep it just because I can. This is one of those. Many of these are. Striking Distance, Bruce Willis. Surprisingly good film. I liked it rather a lot. Stone Cold. The last 10 minutes are awesome. The rest of the film is okay, but not the best. But I love the ending. Conspiracy Theory. One of Mel Gibson's better films. His best films, in my opinion. Payback, probably number 1. Love that film so much. Didn't like the director's cut where they cut a load of stuff out. I like the longer version more. Lethal Weapon series, of course. I still think part 3 is the best of those. Then 2, then 1. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I think 3 was by far the best. It's so funny. 3 makes me crack up every time. And yeah, this one's probably in his top 10 after those. I like it very much. Some Zorro film. I don't know which one. There's many. Looks like some English credits on there, but didn't come out well in the photo. I was rushing. I didn't take much time over these. I got shaky hands sometimes. Murder at 1600, one of Wesley Snipes' best films. I really like this film. I got the DVD, of course. And either the US 1 sheet or the UK quad. I think the 1 sheet. I can't remember, but I got one of them. It's a good film. The Long Kiss Goodnight, one of Sam Jackson's best films. I think his best is probably the 51st State, maybe, aka Formula 51. Love that so much. This is also top 10, maybe top 5 of his. It's very good, I like it very much. 7 Years in Tibet. I've had on videotape for 20 years. I don't think I've ever actually watched it. I probably should. Doesn't look that interesting. Your Name, one of the many random animes coming out in recent years. There's so many I've lost track. Don't know what this is, but I think I've got it already, so this will be a spare if anyone's interested. Sadly, there's an L-shaped rip at the top. It's a Daiei film. Don't think I've ID'd it yet. I need to try and sort that one out at some point. Kikujiro, Takeshi Kitano. Love that film. Most of it. I didn't like some of it. It's mostly good. Sadly a bit ripped at the bottom, but still good to have. Okay, now, I got a load of French posters, another job lot, mostly because I like the artwork on them. I don't know what most of these films are, I will try and find out later, but I just like the art, so I got them anyway, because the price was good. How to Murder Your Wife, Jack Lemmon, good film. Le Villiers du Roi, don't know, but I like David Niven, I like Roger Moore, I like the poster. Le Train, Burt Lancaster, I feel I should know what it is, but I don't, but again I just love the poster, I think the art is beautiful. Le Serment de Zorro, no idea, but I like the poster. Dracut le Venguer, no idea, but I like the poster. Dieu de Mitraillettes, Robert Vaughn in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. days. It's got to be good. I don't think it's a Man from U.N.C.L.E. film because, well, David McCallum's name is on there. Maybe it is one of the Man from U.N.C.L.E.'s. Maybe it's one of our spies is dead, or the other one, I forgot the name. Got to find out. If it's Man from U.N.C.L.E., that's just a nice bonus. Got to find out. I love Man from U.N.C.L.E., it's brilliant. Zulu, don't you chuck them bloody spears at me. That's my Michael Caine impression. Great poster. Not so keen on the film generally. Some of it's good. Les Flèches Brûlées. I don't know. But look at that art. It's beautiful. Not as beautiful as this one though. D'Artagnan au service de la reine. Vincent Price. It's easy to ID. I just haven't had time to do it yet. Jury sur le Nouveau Mexique. I like the art. Le Chevalier de Pardailan. I just love that art. There's something about the fencing swords posters. It's a beautiful poster. L'Archer Noir, the Black Archer. Never heard of it. I want to see all these films now. I'm going to try and see them all if I can find them. The joys of the internet. Okay, now, Bourne. I got a job lot of posters that included probably most of the Bourne posters. This film was not so good. Some of it was okay, but mostly, Jeremy Renner is always, Edward Norton's usually good, but in this he was, It's not a great film. It's alright. Didn't like Jason Bourne particularly. I like the original 3. So here are most of the posters for them. I think I got 2 of them already, and I need to check which ones I need. Okay, computer is messing me about. Here we go. I hate when that happens. Alright, so we got Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Identity. This is not a proper poster, this is on some kind of weird material. It's not paper, you can feel texture on it. It's weird. It's kind of plasticky, but not plastic. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a proper poster. There's no credits on it. Well, if it was a teaser, it would have like the date and the production company. I don't know. I don't know what that is. So anyway, I need to keep most of those. Maybe 1 or 2 I got already. I think I got that one. I need to make sure before I put them up for sale. Got a job lot of stuff that included Die Hard. Sadly doesn't have Die Hard 1. I'm still after the poster for part 1. Every time it's around it goes for crazy money. I can't pay $100 for one poster. Never have, probably never will. I wish I had that kind of money to throw about. Anyway, all of these Die Hards cost me less than $100 for all of them and the other stuff that came with them. So anyway, got part 5 times 2, 2 different designs. Wasn't a good film, but Was that big hole at the bottom? Nah, that's no good. Didn't notice that before. Well, that's annoying. Then we got Live Free or Die Hard. I've already got a poster for this, but I think it's different. Again, this is weird. It seems to be some kind of shop poster. I don't think it's a cinema poster. Same as the Bourne one. I think that's something someone bought from a shop, some kind of repro, but there's no company name on there or anything, so I don't know. Same with this one, I don't know. Sadly, a lot of damage to this one. I got another one sheet from this. I don't know if it's exactly the same, I need to check. I think the other one's in better condition though. So that might be a spare, I need to check. Die Hard 2. This is why I bought this lot of stuff, because I wanted Die Hard 2. Which is actually, I think, better than Die Hard 1. Same as Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon and Die Hard. I like them in the order of 3, 2, 1. I think those are the best. Part 3 is the best for both series. You can disagree with me, but I'm right. Right, next, Air Force One. In this job lot of stuff, there's some Harrison Ford stuff and there's some Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stuff. So I'm probably going to keep the Harrison Ford. I think I might have this one already. Little known fact, well actually maybe you already know. The name of the president, played by Harrison Ford in the film, was James Marshall, which is my name. I was quite happy about that. K-19 The Widowmaker. I don't like the film much, but I like Harry and I like Liam, so I'm going to keep it. Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. I wouldn't have bought them if they weren't part of the job lot, but because they were, I happen to have them, and I'll probably keep them just because it's Harrison Ford. Sum of All Fears, good film, good poster. I think I'm keeping that. Now we come to some American stuff that's slightly bigger than the standard one sheets. One sheets are usually 27 by 40. These are like 29 by 42, something like that. Sadly, like the UK quads, they're too big to put in the plastic bags I can get here. So they're hard to keep stored well. But I had to get them. Man from Hong Kong, come on. Awesome film, I love it. Now, This Time I Make You Rich is actually an Italian film that was maybe not a Shaw Brothers co-production, but was at least filmed at Shaw Brothers. There's behind the scenes footage of it. I know that it was made there. And I do have parts of the Hong Kong poster. Somebody cut up to make a cinema display. I got a job lot of stuff from an old cinema, and there's a load of Shaw Brothers stuff, and the bits of this poster were in there, but there's some parts of it missing that they threw away. So it doesn't say Shaw Brothers or Rum Run Shaw on there, but I know it is a Shaw Brothers related film, and it's the same art that was on the Hong Kong poster, so keeping that. Blackbird. I like George Tagawa, mainly for a TV show he made called Just Shoot Me, which is still one of my favourite TV sitcoms of all time. It's awesome. David Spade was so good. Enrico Colantoni was awesome. George Tagawa was great in it. Everyone in that was good. I forgot the name of the girl who was the main character. I forgot the name of the old ex-model woman, but they were so good too. Everyone in that was awesome. And this appears to be like a parody of the Maltese Falcon. I really want to see this film now. I've never heard of it before. Plastic City, Japanese. Okay, now we get to the stuff that I don't need to keep. These are some Italian photo busters. This is Iron Master, which was directed by Umberto Lenzi, I believe. Italian film. So 6 of these spare if anyone wants to buy them. Desperately Seeking Susan, 7 spare. I don't really like Madonna very much. I don't like the film very much. This one's had the top cut off. The others have a strip at the top with the actors' names. These are available if anyone's interested. Make me an offer. I just want to get rid of them and get some money back. This is called Borderline with Charles Bronson. I've never seen it. I have the type poster. It's kind of a good poster. I should watch it and see if it's any good. But meanwhile, I'm not that bothered by the cards unless I watch the film and I love it. So those are available if anyone's interested. This one I forgot the name. I did look it up and I can't remember. Lee Van Cleef I kind of like. This looks like it was shot in Asia somewhere, maybe the Philippines. I need to check up on what that is and decide if I want to keep them or not, but right now it's looking like they're going. This one was called New Gladiators, directed by Lucio Fulci. So those are available if anyone's interested. Now we come to a few spare French posters from the job lot. I kept the others because I love the art. These few I don't really care about. La Fille de Capri, Zsa Gabor. Un Scandale à la Queue, Sophia Loren. Les Femmes Préhistoriques, which seems to be a Hammer Horror co-production. It's quite a nice poster actually. I could keep it, but I'm not that bothered if anyone wants to take it off me. Grand Méchant Loup Appel, starring Cary Grant. Looks quite old, the old Universal International logo there. Probably 60s, I don't know. No, there's no year on there. I don't know, I'll have to Google it and find out. Le Paradis des Monts en l'air. I do like Peter Sellers, but I've got no idea what that is. I should watch it and find out if it's good. I'll keep the poster. All of these Japanese posters, most of them I don't care about at all. So if anyone's interested, make me an offer. Open Glory, Snow White in the Black Forest, Sigourney Weaver. Private Popsicle, Lemon Popsicle Part 4. Turbulence, Kama Sutra, Contact, Star Wars Phantom Menace, Jar Jar Binks. The Birth of a Nation, D.W. Griffiths. I'm pretty sure this isn't an original from the time of its release. This will be some kind of later reprint. Don't know, there's no year on it. Could be any time. Anyway, it's available if anyone's interested. Courage Under Fire. I've never seen, I should watch. Dead Heat. Strange horror comedy about a guy who becomes a zombie. I got on video, I haven't watched it in 20 years, but I remember it being quite fun. The next two I might keep because I like the posters, and it does look like a Japanese actor there. I don't know. Space Invader. It doesn't appear to be a Japanese film though. Directed by Tobe Hooper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame, I believe. But I might keep those, they're kind of nice poster. I don't think it's an alias for Life Force, I think it's a different film. I'm not entirely sure. Should find out. Congo, Three Men and a Little Lady. What a crock! Spare from Striking Distance, I got two of that. Sphere. A Soldier's Story, looks boring. Free Jack. I'm not a big fan of Mick Jagger in the movies. He should have stuck to the music. I do like Anthony Hopkins though, but it wasn't that good of a film. Blaze. I know nothing about. Frantic, Harrison Ford. I know I said I like Harrison Ford. I don't know this film at all. I should watch it and see if it's worth keeping. I don't know. Weeds. I know it's quite a popular film, but I'm not keen. Speed 2, Cruise Control. One of the worst films ever made. Right up there with Titanic Part 2. Yes, it is a real film, trust me. Google it. Born Yesterday, I know nothing about. Broadcast News, quite a good film, but I'm not bothered. Hiding Out, I don't know. And two posters from Hard to Hold. A little bit damaged though. I don't know anything about. Alright. Back to the big US stuff, slightly bigger than one sheet. Some of these I might keep. I need to see what the films are like. Vigilante Force, I like Chris Christopherson. I like Jan Michael Vincent of Air Force fame. Air Force? Sorry. Is it called Airhawk, the helicopter TV show? Suddenly can't remember. That one. I really like him in that, so I should watch Vigilante Force and see if it's worth keeping. I got 2 posters from that. Airwolf, I think it was called. Now, past 11 o'clock right now, 11 p.m. My mind is switching off. Moses, Burt Lancaster, don't really care for. It ain't no 10 Commandments. It's nowhere near as good. Shoot! I do like Borgnine and I like Silva. I've got to see this film. I've never heard of it before. If it's good, I might keep the poster. I don't know. Moving Violation looks reasonably good, but I don't know. Again, I really need to see it and see if it's something I'm not bothered by. 7% Solution, Sherlock Holmes, I don't care that much. It's not that good of a film. Jim, the World's Greatest, never heard of it, don't care. Conduct Unbecoming, quite a nice poster. I don't think it looks like a good film though. I do like Michael York very much, and Richard Attenborough. I think they're great. Christopher Plummer's okay too. I need to see the film really. That's available if anyone's interested right now. Buy it from me before I decide I'm going to keep it. 92 in the Shade, looks boring, I don't really care. Prisoner of Second Avenue, I love Jack Lemmon, I should watch it and see what it's like. I know it's a very well-known film, but I've never actually seen it. So come to some other spares. Bourne Legacy, I've got 2 the same. I might already have this one actually, I need to check, in which case I got 2 spares from it. Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, don't care, didn't like it. I thought it was a bad film. Had a few good moments, but mostly bad. Then I come to the Dwayne Johnson stuff. Rampage, 2 different designs, I don't really care. Film was so-so. Skyscraper was actually quite good, and I quite like that poster. I might keep Skyscraper, I'm not sure yet. If you want it, make me an offer, we'll see. San Andreas can go, I don't care. Snitch can go. Walking Tall can go. Scorpion King, I know it's Kelly Hu, and I am in love with her, but I do already have this poster. But always liked her. Ever since I saw her in Martial Law. She's so good. Game Plan, that can go. I come to the Thai stuff. I don't know the names on most of these, and it's a long video already, so let's just go through. This was made by a production company with animation in the name. Iara Animation and Studio, but it doesn't look like an animation. They look like real people. So I think it is live action, but I don't know. Some kind of magic and mysticism stuff. Could be okay. Tuang Kun. Don't know what it means. Looks boring. This is Kunpan Part 3. Something about, I think, a policeman with magical powers. I haven't seen any of them. But this particular poster, there are 2 different cinema posters that they did for it. And I never saw this one. It's quite thick. It doesn't seem to be vinyl though. I don't know. Often they do vinyl banners, but they're bigger than this. This is 27 by 40 inch light box size. I've only ever seen it once and I bought it. I paid more than I usually would for a new poster, but it's a good poster and I'd never seen it before and I might never see it again. So sometimes you make that judgment call. I quite like it. 6 characters, looks boring. Faces of Anne looks like some kind of weird horror film with the deer skull. I don't know, it looks like they're in prison, maybe. I don't know. I know nothing about it. I have not kept up with new Thai films at all because they're mostly not good. Hanuman White Monkey seems to be some kind of stage show that they filmed. I could be wrong. From World Epic Ramayana to Ramakien. So Ramayana is the Thai book. It's kind of like the Thai Bible. And Ramakien is the Hindu, Indian book that they copied it from. I think. I might have that the wrong way around. They're kind of like the Bible. They got all kind of magic and mysticism stories. Like Handyman turns himself into a house at some point. There's some strange stuff in there. You got some interesting stories. Many films based on it. Cheese Sisters, no idea, looks boring. There's like 5 different posters for this. Rak Dai Rang Op. Rak is love, Dai is like you can, Rang is like energy, I think. Love, can, energy, don't know what Op means. Looks like some crappy rom-com, I don't know. 5 posters for that. There might have been another one I'm missing, I can't remember. Jaipu Story. There's at least 6 posters for this I've got here. I've got an extra one of that. I think there was a 7th poster. I got that one first, then I got a job lot with the 6, but there's one missing that I saw somewhere else and I was too late to get it. It's annoying. And I've seen them come up for sale since, and I'm never sure, is that one of the ones I've got or not? That's why I needed to take these photos. I don't know what I've got recently. I need to have this reference so that I can check. I need to try and research the names, put them on my list of credits. So much work to do, no time these days. So I think I mentioned earlier P-Nak. It was like some horror stuff, part 1, 2 and 3. Mainak Prakanong, Nang Nak. This is Dang Prakanong. And it's a young kid, so I'm assuming that he's the baby from the Mainak Prakanong story, and this comes later. I don't really know, I'm guessing. This one came as part of a job lot, and there's some damage to it. So there was another one that came up as part of a job lot that I wanted to get. I thought, alright, I'll get it again. It's with some other stuff I want, and the price is quite low. It was better condition, but unfortunately, the person I bought these from wrapped the posters up in very thin paper with very thin tape inside the plastic tube. I tried to peel the tape off with my fingernails. It kept breaking into small pieces. It was incredibly frustrating. I did try with a knife very delicately, but I couldn't get through the tape, and I didn't want to cut through the tape and the paper to the poster beneath. In the end, I tried to rip the paper off, and unfortunately he had rolled the paper into the top poster. So when I ripped the paper, it ripped the poster with it. It's one thing to wrap things up well so they don't get damaged in the post. It's quite another thing to wrap them up so well people can't open the stuff when it turns up. And it has happened to me a number of times. There's another poster I did the same thing to a couple of years ago by accident. Thankfully it's a rare occurrence. I'm usually quite good at getting into things, but there are some annoying people out there who do things badly. Dang Prakanong, Design 2. I got 2 of these from the job lot, so that's spare if anyone's interested. What is this? Un Payan. I don't know. Looking at the poster, it reminds me of the Saw films. I don't know if it's a knockoff of those or something different. Haven't seen it. This is a film called Ugabat, which means meteor. This is at least 20 years old. And this was the same guy who was selling Godzilla vs. Kong and Venom. This is the one that I actually wanted, and the others I threw in because the price was good and they were quite nice. I might actually have this one already, I wasn't sure, and the price was quite low. And he was doing like a video online auction thing, and no one else bought it. I saw it just as he was putting it down, because no one wanted it. And I said, how much is Ugabat? I want that. I didn't have time to check, so I might have it already, it might be spare. I'm sure no one else out there cares. Okay. And we got a load of posters from this film, Tid Noi. I don't know why everyone's got black teeth. I need to see it to find out, I guess. Starring Amanda Everingham. I got two of this poster if anyone's interested in one. Another horror film, Bang Khao Bu Chai, I don't know what it means. Bang Khao, like old house, so. This one actually looks quite interesting, Inhuman Kiss 2. I haven't seen 1 or 2, but I quite like the idea of this headless tentacle things. Weird, I don't know. OMG. There was another film called OMG a few years ago that was Oh My Ghost. This OMG is Oh My Girl. Looks like a crappy rom-com. Don't look at the demon. This is a Thai monk, but it's not a Thai film. Han Tao, Konglar Kanchana Poti. So there was a couple of Thai actors in it. Maybe it was shot in Thailand. I don't know anything about it. I need to find out. Voices in Eugene was boring. This is called Suapan. Suapan. I don't know how you pronounce the second word. Sua's Tiger. Looks like some zany comedy. I've got 2 of each of those. There's a third poster I should have winging its way to me in the post right now. Hopefully. Looks so. This is called Atama Faifa. Something about magic electricity. I don't know. Looks some crappy comedy. And Everingham again. He made a film a few years ago called The Coffin. And this also seems to be coffin related. Unfortunately, I took photos of these 2 posters backwards. I wasn't paying attention at the time. So I need to either flip the images or take them again the right way. Anyway, just for reference to see what I've got. So that's all for now, everyone. Again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, have a nice day, everyone. See you next time. Bye for now.